Hello, Dalens.
Hello and welcome.
Drago and I have a theory regarding Ghilan'nain based on some strange and creepy occurrences in Tevinter Nights and based on Dalish Legends. By the way, be sure to check out Drago's channel, link below. Ghilan'nain is the mother of the Halla, and Evanuris, the Halla deer, lead the elven Aravels for the Dalish clans.
According to Dalish Legends, Ghilan'nain is the youngest goddess associated with animals and travels. At the origin, she was a mortal chosen by the goddess Andril and probably was her beloved or lover. There are a number of different stories involving her betrayal at the hands of an elven hunter. In the end, Andril transformed her into the first Halla, and Ghilan'nain became a goddess.
Ghilan'nain is invoked for quick travel or to find the way home. Quick travel point.
From this legend, we could assume that Ghilan'nain is a mortal elf who became a goddess, similarly as when Andraste, who was a mortal being, took the deity rank from being the Maker's disciple. Ghilan'nain could have been Andril's disciple, and then, thanks to their bond, she became a member of the Evanuris oligarchy.
However, in the Temple of Mythal, we can unlock a special text that shows us a more sinister explanation, and it reads:
Ghilan'nain kept herself apart from the people. She used her power to create animals no one had ever seen. The skies teemed with her monsters, the land with her beasts. Andril hunted them all, and after a year of killing, approached Ghilan'nain with an offer. The gods would share their power with Ghilan'nain, but only if she destroyed her creations, for they were too untamed to remain among the people. Ghilan'nain agreed and asked for 3 days to undo what she had made.
On the first day, she struck down the monsters of the air, except those she presented to Andril as a gift.
On the second day, she drowned the giants of the sea, except those in deep waters, for they were too well wrought, and pride stopped her hand.
On the third day, she killed the beasts of the land, except the Halla, whose grace she loved above all else.
This is how Ghilan'nain was made the youngest of the gods. This part shows us a different explanation as to why the woman became a goddess. In short, she was a mad scientist who played with genetics. Almost all monsters we see in the game are her creation. For example, the Vateral we see in Dragon Age 2 is strongly implied to be her creation. It doesn't attack elven people, only other races. Is that strange? So she probably was a genius whose knowledge was considered dangerous and interesting from the Elven Council. So they proposed to her power in exchange of the destruction of most of her creations.
In the story The Horror of Hormak by John Epler in Tevinter Nights, a few wardens enter an Avaran forest and end up following the trail of their fallen comrades into the mountains, into the Tig of Hormak.
What they find deep below the Tig is horrifying.
A magical pool calling to them, power emanating from it, inviting, enticing, almost like the Well of Sorrows, and all around the pool, creatures, beasts, deformed, unhinged, a darkspawn emissary with bat-like wings, a giant snake with the head of one of the former Grey Wardens. The beings who drank from the well were infected with a corruption like none other, found in no other place.
The main character Ramesh, while searching the Tig, found elven carvings on its walls, depiction of Halla pulling Aravels, but there was something sinister about many of them. Keep in mind that Halla are said to lead the elven people as Ghilan'nain wanted them to. The passage reads:
On the topmost band, stately elven kings and queens held court, their people kneeling before them in respectful supplication. These are undoubtedly the Evanuris and their followers.
On the middle, scenes of healing and succor of disease and injury being drawn forth from the sick and dying by elven mages.
And on the bottom, Aravels, far more elaborate and grandiose than any that Ramesh had ever seen, pulled by armies of Halla toward distant mountains. And Ramesh had recognized one of those depicted mountains as the one Hormak Taig was beneath, with the distinguishable 3 peaks twisting around each other. Ramesh observed that on the lowest band of carvings, the Halla were wrong. They seemed off. Some had too many horns, others seemed insectile. Quote, "The horns themselves were longer and rigid." The windows on these Aravels were barred and looked more like prison ships.
The middle band, with its scenes of healing, seemed now twisted wrong. No longer did it seem as though mages were driving corruption and disease out of the wounded and infirm, but instead they forced it in, pushing it through and into the fallen bodies.
The expressions on the faces of those elven rulers betrayed a contempt that was almost palpable. The beatific smiles edged with disgust and disdain for the creatures at their feet. And the subjects, far from kneeling in reverence as Ramesh had first thought, seemed more to be cowering in terror. These creatures depicted on the Taig's walls bear an awful resemblance to the descriptions found of Ghilan'nain's monsters and beasts. This also goes in line with theories regarding the Evanuris causing corruption and the Blights to begin with and being corrupted and or evil in some way. Another reason why they and Mythal and Fen'Harel were on opposing sides, why Fen'Harel sought to free the elven people, the Evanuris' slaves, why destroying Thedas might actually save the world, if that is what the world was going to be like before the Veil was created and the Evanuris locked up, then I can understand why Solus thinks he's saving the world. Still doesn't justify it, but explains.
One could argue Ghilan'nain never killed all her beasts, but we believe those pools are what created them in the first place. This was how she could create her monsters, how she is still creating her monsters, tempting beings with a pool of knowledge, one that is not pure like Mythal's Well of Sorrows was, but corrupted.
And the most horrifying part of all this is that Ramesh noted how before the depictions repeated into their twisted forms, there had been 11 others. 11 other mountains to which the Halla-led Aravels were leading the people. 12 mountains where such corruption exists. 12! Where beasts and monsters are potentially, most likely, being created as we speak. Again, be sure to check out Antro del Drago's channel.
My channel treats about different subjects, from books to folklore and legends, also video games. I create some video in English languages or English subtitles to facilitate people who don't speak Italian. We decided to collaborate about one elven goddess who seems to have a very singular secret, Ghilan'nain, the mother of Halla, but in my opinion, the best name we could give her is the mother of monsters.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What is Ghilan'nain a mother of to you? And are these mountains with corrupted pools a real threat to Thedas? I believe we might find more of them in Dragon Age 4, otherwise it would not have been in Tevinter Nights. So let us know your thoughts regarding that too. As per usual, like this video if you like it, subscribe, and check out other videos such as this one in the description, playlists, check out my book and my merch, and I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. If you're new here and you like my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. Like it if you like it, for the like it if you like it dance. You can also follow my website, binkyproductions.com, where I post everything from all my channels. Exclusive! If you want to support me, consider buying my book, Stardust Destinies 1 Variant Facing. Magic, dragons, fantasy, all relevant links below. Thank you so much for your time. Your continued viewership is very much appreciated. Maseranas.